ಹಯಾತುಗ ಅವಹ ಕುರಿಯರುಂ ಹೋದಾಲಂ ಬೇಣುಮಿಯ ಉರೀದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಮಡುಕುರು ಮೀ ವರ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಮೆದ್ದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಸತೇಕ ಗುಣ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ತಜುರ್ಬಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲುಮ ಉರೀದೂಗೆ 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ
ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಇತುರು ಹರಫತಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ MS ಅಳಿ ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಉರೀದು
जाणू तो एक है राके तो एक हथियार उतर के हमला दी फुरडी लाफा दुआ क्या गादा ना तोरो बाबा कुरा फुमा दा बाकु दा गादुरा मुझे यारो कम को दूटू गाला फुरा का कबारा तू तो वेनी हकुदा मत का फस्की चेनी they will survive for the veiny diva ikko team king ku de veiny ga badan ka ko gaming ka kature ka ko bedi ka kappa e hu de veiny fahumi he ka ku de veiny dibuwani mi mage mahal mage raja mi mage watan
Welcome to Ooredoo Nation.
The Gamers Land.
किया बला किया ने काळू काळू कुरु कुरु काळू काळू किरुली कुकुळू किरुlu कुकुळू फास्ट को किया करकुर काळू किरुlu नो 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 काळू कुरु काळू किरुली कुकुळू
ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏದೋ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಹಲವು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಕ ಉರೀದೂಗೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ನೆಟ್
काळू कुरु काळू किरुली कुकुळू
ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏದೋ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಹಲವು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಕ ಉರೀದೂಗೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ನೆಟ್ ಎದು ಸ್ಮಿಯಂ ಐ ಲಿವೆ
ಫೋನುಗಾ ವಿಬುಳಿ ಹಯಾತಾನ ಟುಂಗುಳಿಲನೀತ ಕುಮ್ಮಿಸಕಿ ಮೇಜುಗಾ ಎಫಶಿ ಗೇಮುಗಾ ಕುಳುಲು ಸ್ಪೀಡುಗಾ ಎ ಪಬ್ಜಿ ಗಣ ಸ್ನೈಪ್ ಕುರೆ ಎಸಕ ಮೀಮ್ ತಕ ಎ ಫುರಿ ಫೀಡುಗಾ ಎ ಟೆಕು ಟೊಕು ಫುರಾ ಎ ಫಿಟು ಚೆಕು ತಕ ಬೆ ಓಜಿ ಫಶಾ ಎ ಸಾಳಿ ಟ್ರೆಂಡಕ ಎ ಕಿ ಬಜಿದುವಾ Purusanta libuni technology libe kuri eruma eko haru fatuga tibe hus baguta bagutung ufala libe huwa fenta fuga veche libe fa
Jassali ma fighti libe Jassali ma fighti libe Jassali ma fighti libe
ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬೊಡು 5G ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್
Bebe, ¿qué ahora acá? Bebe, ¿qué ahora acá?
ಕಮೆಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಾಲೊಮ್ಮೆ ಉದಗು ಕಮೆದ್ದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಕಮೆಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಾಲಂಬೇಣೊಮಿಯ ಉರಿದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಕುರಿಯರುಮೆಂಗ್ ಅವಹ ಬೇಣುಂದೋ 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಹಯಾತುಗ ಅವಹ ಕುರಿಯರುಂ ಹೋದಾಲಂ ಬೇಣುಮಿಯ ಉರಿದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಮಡುಕುರುಮ್ಮಿ ವರ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಮೆದ್ದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಸತೇಕ ಗುಣ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ತಜುರ್ಬಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲುಮ ಉರಿದೂಗೆ 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ
ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಇತುರು ಹೊರಫತಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಸಳಿ ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಉರಿದು
ಜಾಣುತ್ತ ಏಕೆ ಹ್ಯಾರಾಕಿತ ಏಕೆ ಹತಿಯಾರುತ್ತ ಏಕೆ ಹಮಲಾದಿ ಫುರುಡಿನ ಫಾದುವ ಕ್ಯಾಗಾದಾನ ತರು ಬ್ಯಾಬಾಕುರ ಫುಮ್ಮಾದ ಬ್ಯಾಕುಡಾಗಾದುರ ಮುಜಿಯಾರು ಕಮುಕದೂಡು ವ್ಯಾಲಾಫುರ ಕಾಕಬ್ಬಾರದ್ದುತ ವೇಣಿ ಹಂಗುಡಾಮತ ಕಂಫಸ್ಕಿಚ್ಚ ಹೇಣಿ ದೈವರ್ ಸಫೈ ಪುರವೇಣಿ ದಿವ ಇಕ್ಕೊ ಟೀಮ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಕುಡವೇಣಿ ಹಿಂಗಾಬದಂ ಕಾಕು ಹಿಗೇಮಿ ಕಾಕತ್ತುರೆ ಕಾಕು ಹಿಬೇಡಿ ಕಾಕಬ್ಬಾ ಏ ಹುರವೇಣಿ ಫಹುಮಿ ಹೆಕ ಕಿಕ್ಕುರವೇಣಿ ದೀವುವಾಣಿ ಮೀ ಮಗೆ ಮಹಲ್ ಮಗೆ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಮೀ ಮಗೆ ವತನ್
Hello and welcome back to Esports Flash Series. This is Mobile Legends still, and this is going to be our grand finals. Everyone has been looking forward to all of this, and of course, and then we're gonna be looking at the brackets really quickly. There has been a slight change of schedule. We'll only be seeing the grand finals, which is LN and SLFO going up against VG Esports on a best of 7. And according to the back end, we will have our best of 5 for the for the bronze match for on another day. We'll just be announcing the final schedule, and the players, of course, will be informed of that. So that was it for our brackets, and yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is really fun, and there was a change on the bronze match as well. I think I said best of three yesterday. It's actually going to be a best of five, and this is a new format by Ooredoo Nation. So I think, personally, I think this just makes our tournaments here in Ooredoo Nation a little bit more stand alongside the other bigger Mobile Legends tournaments. So this is gonna be really really exciting. I think this is a nice stepping stone to like bring this Mobile Legends Maldives scene, esports scene, to like the bigger stage. But yeah, that's it. And going back to the tournament, as of course we will be seeing Ellen and SLFO going up against VG Esports. And so yesterday we kind of saw all that happening yesterday. It was really fun to watch, and let's just like in the semifinals for LN and SLFO, it was kind of like an easy going thing. It looked like they didn't really have much trouble beating their opponent in the semifinals. And on the other hand, in towards the side of VG Esports, I think they kind of had a little bit of a hard time going up against Butashi Boys yesterday. So this is gonna be interesting. Let's see what sort of matchup is this gonna look like between VG Esports and LN and SLFO. But I believe they've fought up against each other before. I mean, these are really familiar names, both sides. I mean, we're talking about Omega, Kami, Deathfeed L, and also towards LN and SLFO, very very known names. Doctor, Lieutenant Custard, Midnight. So with that, we're gonna be going through our banning and picking phase really really quickly. You can already see the respect ban for Granger up against a Midnight from LNF SLFO. So you can tell that these guys know each other pretty well, and they're definitely not going to give away the Granger that easily. You don't want Midnight holding on to that Granger. But yesterday, very interestingly, I believe Midnight held on to the Lapu Lapu as well and put Lapu Lapu in the gold lane. So we could have that as an alternative now that the Granger is out of the table. And here we have the Isun Shin ban, which is actually Deathfeet L and Doctor both use Isun Shin. So that's both out of the table. It's SLFO that's going to be banning that because they are not the first pick. So they don't want to give that away too quickly, or just maybe limit the hero pool of both teams considerably for that. And then so other than that, yes, the Akai can break your formation really really quickly, and there's also a very annoying stun that goes along with it. So that's out of the question. Of course, the Joy is also being banned as well. So I haven't seen Joy quite a while. So none of that for now. And then we have a Diggy ban for VG Esports, which is a pretty standard ban. Um, whether it's in ranked or in the esports scene. So, Diggy countering a lot of the crowd controls, crowd control mechanics of a lot of heroes, and it might be a little bit annoying. And as well as the passive of Diggy, even though Diggy is still respawning, they can still be very much useful, especially with they can like pretty much annoy the other team, the opponents, and then give away their location with no consequence whatsoever. And I believe if they haven't changed it yet, they can technically still give like one or two damage per hit while still respawning, so it prevents other players from recalling back into the base. So it's really just annoying. You can see why they kind of banned that Diggy quite a lot. But here we're gonna have our first pick, and it looks like VG Esports will be prioritizing on the Grok. They saw Broken using the Grok really well yesterday, and the timing of all the walls as well as the stuns. It's very important. It helped out quite a lot with helping the rest of the team kind of get those ganks in, get those yeah. like get those team fights within their advantage. And of course, SLFO will be biting back with the Lilia and the Minotaur. So Lilia has been recently buffed. There's a great load of damage coming in for Lilia these days because of the recent buffs. And Minotaur, of course, great healing and nice ultimate. It's a great setter for team fights. So definitely a team player. It's a nice choice for the roamer of SLFO. Just have to kind of choose perhaps a nice a nice perhaps marksman or carry that goes along with it, maybe on the jungler as well. But yes, Lilia is also a pretty good choice as well. But here, VG Esports still be using the Titian, the newest mage. I believe this is the newest mage, if there's no other mage that got released recently. Titian for the mid lane, and also Nagluvaglu will be holding on to that X-Borg, pretty staple in most games. And now it's just gonna be SLFO picking out their next pick. So there's still quite a number of heroes that can still be pulled. And by the way, guys, it is New Year, so guys, Happy New Year to, I believe probably Australia's already in their New Year as of now. So we're about to have our New Year in 1.5 hour where I am. So if you guys suddenly hear fireworks, then I'm really sorry, but still Happy New Year. Everyone's kind of celebrating here, and I'm sure the players also want to celebrate. So let's get this best of seven really quickly, guys. I think we can catch up to that, just before midnight in Maldives time. And yeah, hope it's been a great year. We had so many tournaments here in Ooredoo Nation, and I think the community has only been growing more and more and more after that. It's just really nice to watch. So thank you guys so much for supporting Ooredoo Nation for the whole year and for the previous years as well. And we hope that you guys continue supporting our donation, and then you guys will check out our Instagram for a lot of the announcements, and of course that maybe join the tournaments. It's not just MLBB that's being hosted here. We also host Valorant and COD M, that's Call of Duty Mobile, and then I believe just recently Rocket League. There's also FIFA, and maybe I'm missing some other games. Just check out the Instagram for any announcements, and also do like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can go ahead and be alerted for any streams that happened. So yeah, looks like we're done with the second banning phase. It's Leomord and Earthel down at the side of SLFO, and for VG Esports, interesting pick with the 1-1 ban, and then we have the Brody as well. So I think the 1-1 is sort of pretty specific kind of ban, perhaps from midnight, because 1-1 is a pretty hard marksman to sort of master, especially with so many requirements to kind of activate that ultimate. You can't just press the ultimate and then you get that, the damage in, and also that immunity to being targeted. No, you have to go through certain requirements, certain conditions before you can activate that. And so it's a pretty complicated character. So banning that means it's probably a respect ban towards midnight, or maybe they think Doctor is going to be using 1-1. I don't know. But here we have our first pick for the second phase for SLFO. Doctor will be using the Baksha. We saw previously that the Baksha will have that tanky build instead. So I'm going to think maybe Midnight is going to be a hyper carry here, and also Lilia will be, the main damage dealer. So two glass cannons, and then we have the tankiness from Doctor and Mod Speed. And maybe I'm hoping that Reaper Maul will be building that Arlot with a bit of damage. All right, we have Midnight's Harith. That's pretty cool. And then for VG Esports, we'll have the CC Gold Laner, as we saw yesterday, and Defeat L will be using that Alpha. So I haven't seen Alpha in a while in the esports scene, but yes, CC will be thinking CC will probably go for the early game sort of like victory, because if not, actually Harith can also be an early game gold laner, so this should be hopefully a pretty quick game, especially since we don't have any marksmen, we don't have any carries that are like purely traditional carries. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the lineups for both teams. I mean, I love the Grok, I love the Minotaur as well, very nice tankiness, and of course Titian and the Lilia for the mid lane, and CC and Harris on the gold lane. So this is gonna be interesting. Two very wonderful teams going up against each other on this grand finals for the Esports Flash Series for Mobile Legends Bang Bang. We have a 4-man stack holding on to that red buff. They're probably thinking that SLFO is going to be invading the place. So I think that was a pretty good call. You can see Mod's feed is actually trying to kind of invade just a little bit, and VG Esports managed to deter them, managed to not let them deny any of that farm. But here, after that little scuffle, I think everyone's just kind of like peacefully going back to the same place as they were before. Okay, Mad's feet's taking a bit of damage, and it looks like Broken's going to be leashing Death Feet L just a little bit, just to help out the jungle go a little bit faster. But yeah, other than that, I think we might be seeing a little bit of a rotation towards the top lane. We have the Lilia trying to bully that CC, but we have Broken and Death Feet L also at the top lane. You can see SLFO kind of going backwards, and Lieutenant Custard will be the first blood taken by Kami. Mod's feet manages to back away just in time, and so we won't be seeing another casualty, I believe, from this team fight. But you can see VG Esports sort of poking here and there, but not too much to worry about. But yeah, 1-0 on the scoreboard, still quite early, but this is the first game for a best of 7, and we have another casualty action. Death Feet L kicks down Mod's feet right there in the mid lane, right under their turret. And I think there's something else that's gonna be happening. Doctor tried to dive under that turret, tried to get Kami, but now it's a 3 versus 2. Trapped by that wall, Doctor cannot get away, and that's a third casualty. But Reaper Maul finished off Death Feet L. They were still up for the taking, quite low on health, and they just finished the job. Speaking of finishing the job, Naglu Baglu quite low on health, but managed to get away. That's an export we're talking about. They still have their armor, so they don't have to worry about that too much. But speaking of worry about, we have the turtle up for the taking. You can see Broken and Mod's feet are already within position, keeping the vision for their teams, particular teams. You can see there's a poke here and there. Broken got broken once again. Alright, we got a 3-2 so far on the scoreboard. Doctor's getting started on that turtle. Kami's right behind it. Death Feet L is also right behind them, trying to contest this turtle. 2 junglers, and so this is gonna be a war of retribution, but this is a 3 versus 4, and it's that Feet L that will be stealing that turtle from under SLFO's nose. This is quite the game. This is becoming quite the game already. Everyone's bringing their A game. Everyone's out for blood, but you can feel right now, as of right now, SLFO's holding back on the aggression, but VG Esports, they're going for those ganks. They're going for those early game kills and trying to bank on that snowball. But as of the moment, they're kind of they're quite literally equal in gold. That's 9.5, 9.6k, very, very close, just a couple of gold coins in difference. But here we can look at a slight jungle invade. Oh, Kami's definitely very, very low in health, but they can't go ahead and chase down Kami, because SLFO would be overstepping, overextending. But here we can see Harith kind of used up their ultimate back there. It's all fine, it's all good in the gold lane. Everyone's just going back to their business, but there's definitely pokes here and there, and it's definitely a very tense game actually. everyone's on their toes, and this is already the grand finals, so you can pretty much think that right now in the mid lane, everyone's out for blood. Already one down on the side of VG Esports, and that's a nice set coming in from the Grok. Modspeed almost lost their life back there. Doctor half health as of the moment, but there's a second casualty on the side of VG Esports. Dr. Boglu is going to be falling. No casualties from the side of SLFO. They catching up on eliminations, and in fact they're one elimination forward from VG Esports. Right now we're seeing the EXP. It's actually the Alpha, I believe that is Defeat L with more experience, and followed by the Arlots from the side of SLFO. So that's an XP laner, so it's not really that surprising, but still the next turtle is going to be coming right up, and you can see Lieutenant Custard is trying to keep that vision for themselves, but this is going to be a 4 versus 4 on the turtle, going up towards where the red buff of the jungle of VG Esports is. But now we have a bunch of sets coming in. Alright, we have the Minotaur's ultimate coming in, but Broken's gonna be falling first to the hands of the Chen Custard, but Modspeed will be treated off immediately. Tank for tank, but VG Esports quite low on health. SLFO still has a little more to go, but that turtle is still 2k in health, and that is it. Lieutenant Custard gets that turtle in hand. Reaper Mouse dangerously low on health, but the double kill from Deathfeet L, and that is a 1-4-3 trade. SLFO losing a bit of that team fight, and now VG Esports coming right up, taking the mid lane tower as well. Wow, what a grand finals, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a best of 7, and if these two teams are going to be playing like this the whole time, oh my gosh, maybe we'll be seeing game number 7. I don't know, but hopefully not. We all have like New Year's, you know, but this will be a great time to kind of match up these two teams. But then, yeah, just looking at the items a while ago, not much to say, because I think there's not much builds yet. Everyone is still kind of trying to go for their first or second item. Not too much to worry about, and you can see the gold laners are kind of, actually I don't know where CC is, but we're having another team fight. I don't even know what they're fighting about because there's no turtle nearby. But yes, Omega will be falling. I was looking for Omega. I was like, where's the gold laner of VG Esports? They're caught up in the jungle, in the river, and now there's going to be 3-1 trade. VG Esports losing in that team fight so far. I don't know what happened back there, but they had a team fight. Don't know what they were fighting about, but it lost out 3 players on VG Esports. Just looking at the gold lead as of the moment, it's not too worrying. There's only a 1k gold lead going on to the side of SLFO, but here we can see the push is going quite well for the side of SLFO. It looks like they'll put a lot of attention onto the bottom lane. There is a 4 versus 3 potentially that could happen here if someone initiates. Omega is definitely trying to poke a lot right here, and well, I think the next turtle is gonna come up right up, so they're going to have the team fight probably here instead of anywhere other than the map. So Broken kind of tried to stun here and there, and it looks like it might be a 5 versus 5 mess at this rate. Alright, we have a little bit of a Minotaur hit here and there. There's stuns coming right up, but still, first to go down will be Omega, second will be Kami, and that's 2 damage dealers down on the side of VG Esports, but nonetheless, Deathfeet L takes that turtle for themselves. Doctor also gets traded off, so that's jungler for jungler, but still, 3-1 trade. VG Esports lost out a bit on that exchange, and it looks like Broken will be finished off as well. That's a 4-1 trade. Knuckleball is still alive in the mid lane, but is that really worth it? With 4-man down on the side of VG Esports worth the 1 turtle? I don't know, man. It's a 2k lead for the gold on SLFO as in this moment. Okay, we have maybe a revenge sort of team fight in the mid lane. Omega falls once again. That's your gold laner, ladies and gentlemen. That was the gold laner of VG Esports. It's not gonna look good, especially when they're being denied their gold, denied their items. And okay, we have a wall coming right up, and you can see Custard and Midnight are gonna back away really quickly, because that was not a good place to be, especially since we both got the squishies. We got the glass cannons and no tank to help them out. But Modspeed's just kind of poking around, but that's kind of a bluff on the side of SLFO. There's no damage geners nearby. Doctor's still trying to farm up. And it looks like Doctor will be building tank once again. So we're going to be relying on Custard and Midnight quite a lot. Alright, this is going to be a 4 versus 4 in the mid lane. Alright, we have the Minotaur ultimate coming right in. Omega dies first once again. But Doctor's dangerously low with health. You're gonna be falling by the hands of Deathbeat L. Alright, Midnight might be coming up next. Very low on health, but Kami is gonna be first to fall. Now Glubaku follows. Deathbeat L, will they be in trouble? That's a lot of sustain, but in the end, it's still not enough for Midnight. Midnight's gonna be taking that elimination for themselves. They're gonna leave Broken alone. And alone, I mean alone, because the rest of their team is respawning as of this moment. LNL SLFO pushing towards that mid lane. The Nord has spawned. I mean, they can go ahead and take this Lord for themselves. We still have about 10 seconds left to go before Deathbeat L respawns, but it looks like SLFO won't be using that time to take the Lord. We can see Midnight already has the Holy Crystal, so we can expect a lot of damage to be shelled out by the gold laner of SLFO as of this moment, and it looks like they will be taking the Lord for themselves. You can see VG Esports is still prioritizing on taking map control back, or maybe at least push back the minions away from their base. And so with that, they're keeping themselves close to the base. Slowly but surely, SLFO's putting a lot of pressure onto VG Esports. They're prioritizing on the mid lane, pushing the minions onto the base of VG Esports. And you can see Arlot's also trying to take the top lane, and perhaps Doctor is going to take the bottom lane as well, or maybe Custer is going to do that. Alright, we have Reaper taking the Blade of Despair, so we have a little bit more damage on the side of SLFO for our fighter, so that's definitely gonna help out quite a lot. And of course, we'll have the level leaderboards. Yes, so far it's Death that has a lot more EXP, and coming right next is Reaper still, and then Doctor coming in third. And it looks like the Lord is already marched up to the mid lane, but it's not that strong. We're still talking about like an 11-minute Lord, but still a 5 versus 5 coming right up in the mid lane. We have Omega falling first once again. This is not a good pattern to have. Omega is 0 to 5 to 6 on the KDA, and Omega is always the first to fall. You have to protect your gold laner, VG Esports. You have to protect your gold laner. It's not easy as well, since CC is a melee character. You can see SLFO's already barging into the base. All they have to do is clear out the lanes, clear out the minions, take down another tower or two, and now they can just go ahead and take the base for themselves. We're just looking at Omega, Broken, and Naglubaglu as of this moment, and they can actually just tower lock at this moment. It will be fine, but they're choosing to kind of try to take down the rest of VG Esports first, and those minions are gonna do the job of trying to take down those the health of the base. And VG Esports is still having an easy time respawning, so they can still defend their base quite well. I mean, we're talking about 30-second respawns here, and that helped out quite a lot. But the fact that this is still 13 minutes into the game, but it's not gonna be for long. Omega is gonna be last person standing, and now that's a triple kill with a wipeout, and that's the end of the first game. Come on, guys. I think we can end this game now. They're just trying to drag this out, but still, the first game will go to LNN SLFO. Congratulations to LNN SLFO for a 13 to 14 minutes victory for our first game of this grand finals up against Vanguard Esports. Congratulations once again. What an amazing performance from you guys. And I mean, it was really nice to watch. This is once again, guys, a best. So any of these teams, if they want to win, you have to win 4 times. 4 whole times. This is very, very new for the Ooredoo Nation scene. But then, yeah, this is the post game. You can see the sheer difference of gold of items coming in from both teams. Let's just peek real quickly. We have Doctor with the mostly the tank builds, and of course Midnight the damage build, and nothing else surprising. The Arlot will be like half half. Actually, mostly damage. I don't think they have like an armor or two, but nothing else with that. For the side of VG Esports, it kind of have a few items, but definitely not as much as SLFO. They have maybe three built items, but for the side of SLFO, they have about five. But here we have the MVP. It's actually a Reaper Maul with the 11 to 1 to 10 KDA with a GPM of 790 and the KP percent of 78%. The spell is, I believe this is Petrify, and the item build, the Malefic Gun, the Blade of Despair, the anti-heal, the axe as well. I think this is four full items alongside of the boot. So this is an Arlot that's mostly damage build, less on the tankiness because Baksha was a full tank build, so that definitely makes sense. And right now, yes, once again, this is our brackets, and this is a best of seven on the grand finals. Still LNN SLFO versus VG Esports. We are 1-0 on the scoreboard as of this moment. SLFO has 1 point, VG Esports none yet. And so we have potentially at least three more games left to go if this is going to be a sweep. And if not, then we'll have six more games if this might look like maybe a reverse sweep for VG Esports. So let's just wish both teams best of luck. They have been so amazing, both of them so amazing on that game. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and we'll go straight to game number 2 after this. So game number 1, it was pretty nice. We have the gold laners that are CC and CC and Harith, and it worked out really, really well for SLFO. But in the first few minutes of the game, you can see VG Esports actually kind of did a lot of things right. They won a lot of the team fights until they didn't. Definitely did not do well in the mid game and also like towards the end of the game, especially since it was very, very worrying when Omega kept dying, kept getting picked off first during team fights, and that's their main damage dealer. That's their carry. They funneled the gold and gave the gold lane to CC. So you'd expect that CC should be shelling out lot of damage, and they can't do that if they don't protect their gold laner. And it's a little bit harder since they chose CC, which is a melee character. So maybe better things to do in the next game, perhaps take a long range marksman instead of melee character. So with that, we're going to go straight to your fireworks already. Sorry, guys, but yeah, we're going to straight to game number 2, and looks like we'll have the pretty basic standard bans once again. We have the Joy ban and Eason Shin ban and the Diggy ban for SLFO. And VG Esports will be banning Akai, Arlot, and there's going to be one more ban. We have about 20 seconds left to go. Granger's still open, by the way, for midnight, so they should probably ban that. So let's just see. Okay, Eve will be banned, so let's expect SLFO. Maybe they'll be using their first pick to take the Granger off the hands, or maybe they don't have to worry about taking Granger first because I'm not sure if VG Esports has anyone who will be using the Granger for themselves. But let's just see what the first ban is gonna look like. First pick rather is gonna look like. And well, I think for SLFO, they could really use a lot of maybe more aggression towards the early game of the match. But yeah, I think the fireworks can be heard, so guys, don't worry about that. It's already New Year's. It's about to be New Year's in an hour or so. But it looks like SLFO will be using their first pick on Lilia for Lieutenant Custard. And let's just go ahead and kind of watch out for the next picks later on. Omega should probably use Irithel. I mean, that's just my suggestion. Maybe they're having a little bit of trouble protecting Omega from SLFO, so maybe like keeping Omega on the back lines would be a little bit easier on VG Esports. But if they have any other strategies that they want to try out, then definitely that's theirs to pick about. But here, yes, Midnight will be taking the gradient for themselves. This is very, very exciting. And let's just go ahead and see what Mad's feet. Okay, it looks like Mad's feet will be picking next. So they'll take the Minotaur for themselves. Same as the same as the game number one. It's an encore for the Lilia and Minotaur combination. And then next up for VG Esports, one more pick. And I mean, we could probably prioritize on. I think the best thing to do is prioritize Kami's pick instead. Because you want to keep Death and Omega's picks a little bit more secretive first. But if they have any other heroes that they want to prioritize, they can go ahead and give that to Omega or Death instead. But then yeah, it's a pretty nice matchup so far. And I think like SLFO and VG Esports, they're kind of like close in terms of skill. So I kind of like this matchup. It's not too dominating and not too easy for any of the two teams. But here Kami will be getting the Farmis, so this is gonna be a very interesting pick because Farmis is quite the team player, quite literally, man. I mean, like they're more popular and they're more powerful. Rather, they're more powerful if you like go ahead and keep Farmis as a team player rather than a solo player. I don't think I've seen Farmis going for solo kills yet. Unlike a lot of mages that are kind of like burst type, Farmis is sort of the support kind of mage just a little bit. But here we have a bunch more bans coming right up. We have the Yuzhong ban and the Irithel ban. So Yuzhong's quite the Yuzhong's a very I don't know if sustainable is the right word, but Yuzhong has a lot of sustain. It's very hard to kill Yuzhong, especially with the right build. And also that ultimate is quite annoying because it has a little bit of a crowd control sort of thing. I mean, it stuns you just a bit if you get hit by that dragon, so it's quite annoying. But here, SLFO will be taking the Earthel off the hands of VG Esports. So yes, I did kind of suggest maybe Omega could take the Earthel instead, but they prioritized on taking Farmis first as well as the Exborg and the Grok. So it's gonna be out of the table as of this moment. We have the Shuyu ban as well, so Death Feet L is gonna be limited to um more heroes. So Hayabusa is still open, so either Doctor or Death L can still pick that up. And Omega will be using the Obsidia. Okay, new marksman. So because Mobile Legends wants to promote Obsidia first, so you can expect that Obsidia is still pretty powerful, and the kit is still very, very effective and would go really well against the other players. So yeah, Obsidia is a pretty good pick. So it's also Obsidia is also a long range character, so we're not gonna be seeing the same sort of gameplay as we saw with CC a while ago, and hopefully that keeps Omega alive this time around in this game. So now it's up to Doctor and Reaper as to which picks they want to get for themselves. So for Doctor, yes, they'll be going for that we're going for that encore for the buckshot, and Reaper Maul will be using, I presume, the Sora. So well, it's quite nice. So we have actually the same lineup more or less. Doctor having the Baksha, Matsweet having the Minotaur, and Lieutenant Custard with the Lilia. They won that previous game, so I absolutely respect that. But we have minor improvements, minor or like major improvements this time around. Now that the Granger is open, Midnight took the Granger, and of course we have the Sora, which is a pretty new character as well. So you can expect firework. You can expect that you can expect Sora's kit is still very, very effective. But that's it. picking face, and we have of course that feat will be taking the Amon for themselves, also a pretty meta character. So this is gonna be exciting. VG Esports is trying something new this time around, so hopefully it's a little bit more effective on their side. They definitely have to work a little bit harder if they want to go up against SLFO. So ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2 of our grand finals of the Esports Flash Series Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hosted by Ooredoo Nation and of course our gaming partners who made this possible. That's E2S Gaming and Lenion and also Maldives Esports Association. So thank you so much for making this tournament possible. And guys, do check out Ooredoo's products, especially the 5G. It's definitely available in a lot of your malls. So guys, check their stores out and see which deals are really are really good enough for you guys. I'm sure a lot of people use Ooredoo not just in Maldives but also internationally. I believe they're even in Qatar and Indonesia. It kind of says a lot of nice things about the company. So guys, do check out their 5G. But yeah, we are going back into the game, and we have like a bit of maybe invade, but not really. Lieutenant Custer is kind of peeking in there, but the red buff is heavily guarded. There's Broken nearby, and also Kami's nearby, but it looks like we might be seeing a 3 versus 3. We have a little bit of a stun happening, but I think they just wanted the Lethal Wanderer and not the Lethal Wanderer kind of respawn just now. They're just gonna be backing away real quick. Oh my gosh, the fireworks, guys, the fireworks. But here we have the blue buff once again. Not too much to worry about, but everyone's kind of minding their own business as usual. So, we have a half a minute left to go before that next turtle's gonna come right up. And surprisingly, like unlike the previous game, we're not really seeing a lot of casualties yet, but Midnight had to expand their flashback there because they got caught up in the wall of Broken. So we're definitely thinking that if there's a team fight that might be happening, Midnight has just one less escape route to kind of use. But here we have Kami getting picked on by Mod Speed, but they're gonna be backing away really quickly. Just pokes here and there, everyone else disengaged, so we're back to the turtle once again. Nobody wants to get picked off too early for that, but here looks like Doctor will be starting on that turtle really quickly. Modspeed and Lieutenant Custer's right behind him. Kami's half health. Let's see if they'll go ahead and try to contest this turtle. Brokens is nearby, getting stunned up, trying to steal that turtle away, but Doctor, nice retribution coming in, and I think Broken will be a bonus. Kami's dangerously low on health, but they don't have information to Kami as of this moment. Omega just got the Wind Talker, so that's a good sign, especially since it's still 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, so it's definitely gonna help out quite a lot. Over here, Omega getting a lot of the gold plating on the SLFO tower definitely helped out quite a lot, but you can see the rest of SLFO is kind of lingering about on the gold lane, trying to see if they can get a pick off, but I don't think it's gonna be turning into a whole a match, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Everyone's just going back to their own lanes. It's the 1-for-1 on the kill list. Oh my gosh. The fireworks are so nice. I don't know why there's just one firework too. Like, they light one and they're like, let's light another one. But yeah, back to the game. Yeah, we're just gonna be watching out on this potential turtle, and looks like they're gonna be fighting really early. Fireman is using their ultimate once again because there's a lot of stuns coming in from both the Minotaur and the Grok, but still Mod Speed is gonna be falling first. I think Omega is gonna be following right after that. Reaper taking that kill for themselves. Broken is definitely low on health, but Reapers might be following up next. Naklubaklu has the stacks on there, so one more hit that could have ended so badly. But in the end, it's still a 1-for-1 trade. But let's see if they're not over just yet. Doctor's dangerously high on health, and Broken took a lot of damage from Midnight back there, but Kami is trying to hide them out, but Kami takes the damage instead. Broken still getting caught up by Midnight anyway, and Death Beetle's right around the corner, but Omega gets caught up first. Alright, let's see if they can go ahead and give that chase. Death Beat Alpha, they get caught up 4 versus 1. Uglebug way too late to the party. Doctor takes that kill for themselves, and BG Esports is back for more. Lieutenant Custard's gonna be falling after this, but uses their ultimate to get away. Mod Speed might finally be falling this time around. Is it not over just yet? Lieutenant Custard still being chased down. Oh my gosh, they don't have the ultimate anymore, and Omega takes that kill for themselves, but Omega is gonna be paying for that. Reaper Mal gets a double kill in the bag, and Kami's probably gonna be next. Reaper Mal, Doctor chasing them down. Far misses health, immediately falls down, and now I think this is it. Another kill in the bag. What is happening? Everyone's just going to the fountain, respawning, going to the team fight only to die once again. It was definitely messy, but now we're finally going to the turtle. Alright, we're not over just yet. That feat L is gonna be falling, so that's no jungler for the side of VG Esports, and easily Doctor takes that turtle for themselves, and now 4 versus 3 on the mid lane turret. They're diving into that mid lane turret. It's a good thing Broken managed to get away, especially with that health, with that shield. But Doctor's gonna be falling. Matsui dangerous low on health, but still trying to stun that up, and that just gives Kami the death that SLFO definitely needed. But Nanglubaglu, no more armor, and it looks like they tried to dive into that tower. 3 versus 1 definitely did not stand a chance. Lieutenant Custard takes that kill for themselves. It's 2-6 as of this moment. They even take the mid lane turret as well. What an insane 2 minutes. Oh my gosh. And we have fireworks as well. But well, Omega has the Hast clause right now. So Midnight has the Sky Piercer. It's just too bad they missed out on the 4 stacks from the 4 kills, and also the 2 support. But yeah, nonetheless, it was pretty good. But here, okay, we have Mod Speed. It might be 2 versus 1, but Doctor's quite nearby, and it's still quite early on into the game, so Doctor should have a little bit more damage than usual. Midnight gets taken down, so this is not a good look. Doctor is probably gonna have to back away. They don't have a lot of damage as of the moment. Reaper could have gone in, but it's just a little bit too late. Alright, Reaper's gonna be popping right up. Okay, Kami could be pulled in, use the ultimate, suppressed, and they should finish them off. Nice dash towards the upper side of the map. Never let them know your next move. That was really smart. That was tactical. And meanwhile, Omega did take 1 turret in the bag, but here we have 20 seconds left to go before the turtle comes up, and it looks like there's a lot of tense. There's a whole tense environment here towards the bottom lane. Ooh, Omega took a lot of damage back there by Midnight. Alright, we have a little bit of setting coming here from Mod Speed. They're targeting Nuggle and they're just trying to take the attention of VG Esports. Alright, we have a lot of stuns coming in. Still no casualties though. Nuggle doesn't have any armor left, so they can go ahead and try to finish that off. But there's still a lot of health on those 2 turrets, so it's gonna be a little bit hard. But SLFO, they're just trying to push back VG Esports while they take the turret for themselves. But here, it looks like they'll finally start off with the team fight. Farm is already expending their ultimate. Lieutenant Chris is going to be the first to fall. Mod Speed might be next. Caught up way too much damage in, but Doctor gets traded off immediately. Omega has the Sky Piercer. Just, I think, 3 or 4 items on Omega already. They have 6 kills as well, so great improvement, immensely great improvement from Omega here. So Midnight still kind of I'm not sure what the items look like for Midnight, but there was a 3-person I don't know if it's called deficit, but there were 3 people down from the side of SLFO during that team fight, so it's gonna set them back just a little bit. But it looks like both teams are out for blood once again. They just want revenge after revenge after revenge. Look at them initiating a battle already. Look at the farm is already using up their ultimate, and alright, that ultimate is already gonna go down. Midnight's gonna be first to fall once again, so the tables have turned actually. It was Omega always dying first, and now it's Midnight on this game number 2. You can see SLFO, they have to back away because Lieutenant Custard's also falling. Midnight, Custard, both down. They don't have damage anymore. They cannot take this 5 versus 3 nonetheless, because they do not have any damage. And okay, Kami has the glowing wand. So, there's a lot of items already in VG Esports, despite the fact that there's no gold lead actually. So they're pretty equal on both sides, 13-12 on the scoreboard, and more or less the same gold as well. And unlike the first game, both teams are very, very aggressive in the second game. So I definitely like it. There's a lot of tension, and there's also a lot of keeping yourselves on your toes. But here it looks like Reaper Mall tried to dive in 3 versus 1, and it's gonna be everyone else trying their best to kind of get the Lord dance in the bag. And so there's a lot of stuns coming right up. You can see a lot of damage coming in from Omega, and let's see how VG Esports is gonna be faring with that, because they're quite low on health. SLFO still nearby, still mostly half health. You can see VG Esports trying to disengage. Omega's trying to stay at the back end. It's very, very nice, but Reaper Mall breaks that formation, tries to come in. Midnight takes the Lord for themselves, and still it's not over just yet. Reaper Mall gets Omega down, and Kami's gonna be following right up after that. Broken's quite low on health, Naklubago as well. Midnight takes Kami, and it's a 3-4-1 trade as of the moment. And you can see they've already disengaged, so VG Esports are going to be prioritizing on defending the base as of this moment. And you can see SLFO, they're letting the Lord do their thing in the mid lane, rather in the bottom lane. And they're just denying a bit of the farm from VG Esports. Alright, they're just trying to take the mid lane for themselves, trying to see if they can get ahead to that inhibitor turret, but no, Midnight's gonna be falling. I think the SLFO might be in a little bit of trouble. They're still Custard. Okay, we still have a little bit of damage, but definitely already having their sights on Custard, and Custard could not defend themselves. Doctor could not quite save Custard back there, but well, it just gives VG Esports a little bit of a breather. But you can see the minions have already done their job. That turret's gonna be going down on the top lane, and the Lords still making their moves towards the bottom lane. And slowly but surely, VG Esports is regaining their map control. Deathbeat L takes a holy crystal for themselves, so it's definitely gonna help out quite a lot. Alright, Deathbeat L just try to kind of poke around the area, trying to get some vision. The fireworks, guys. But yeah, SLFO slowly but surely pushing back the minions as well. So we have more than a minute left to go before the next team fight, or rather the next Lord. So everyone's just having a team fight once again. Farm is already expending the ultimate. Let's see any good stuns. Omega falls, Midnight as well. So 2 carries down on both sides. Broken just got their Dominion Ice. Might be a little bit harder to sustain as of the moment. Naklubaku very, very dangerously low on health, but 2 down. Midnight Mod's feet already on the side of SLFO, and still it's just Omega that got traded off back there. But it's not over just yet. Lieutenant Custard managed to get away with a sliver of life, and VG Esports already disengaged. You're gonna be overextending if they go past that turret. But yeah, 18-18 on the scoreboard as of the moment. It's 12 minutes into the game, so it's definitely a slower game than the previous match, so it's not too bad. And it's way too early for fireworks, guys. It's way too early. But yeah, everyone's kind of just going all around the map, and Nagubagu has the immortality in hand. You can see we might be seeing another team fight near the walls. Way too early to have this team fight. They're doing it anyway. It's gonna be Midnight's gonna be falling first. This is so stressful. No more carry for SLFO. Worse, they're going to be relying on Custard and Reaper for the damage this time around. Alright, we have Omega. Good, might be backdooring the top lane. Guys, please go back. SLFO, please go back. You can see, oh my gosh. Okay, they managed to get there just in time, but Omega already took the inhibitor turret up top. But here in VG Esports, they're still going at it. Broken fell. Nogubaku, quite low in health. Kami managed to get away. They're not being chased down as of the moment. That was so stressful. And they should probably clear out the top lane, kind of making me nervous. But here, SLFO is still trying to make the chase. Oh my gosh, Omega quite low in health. Reaper's chasing, and Lieutenant Custard and Nogglebuggle going up against each other, and it's gonna be using their ultimate. Custard's gonna be waiting for that ultimate, but no, there's no skills available. Nogglebuggle managed to take Lieutenant Custard instead. And we're 2020 on the scoreboard as of the moment, but just looking at the item bin, there's a lot of items coming in from BG Esports, and still they're still going at it. They're very kill hungry as of the moment. It's a good thing SLFO managed to take down with Naglu, and Omega, and now they have the numbers advantage to go and get that Lord in the bag. We have 17k on the HP, and looks like they'll be stopping the Lord for now and trying to push back the rest of BG Esports, because Deathbeat L is also nearby trying to contest that with the jungle. But oh no, Dr. Ed Midnight Fall, and I don't think this is possible to win this team fight anymore. They don't have any more damage. It's Mod Speed and Reaper Maul instead. So the Lord has a reset, and it looks like BG Esports could get this potentially uncontested whatsoever. So I think the side of SLFO kind of lacking just a bit on the items. Okay, so it makes me a little bit nervous for their side. And now SLFO cannot take any more team fights. They should not actually take more any team fights, because they have to defend against that Lord going up the top lane. But well, it looks like VG Esports will be putting a bit of pressure onto the mid lane. And SLFO cleverly keeping themselves inside of the base, just targeting a lot of the minions instead of the players. And now they have the Lord in hand, and they're just gonna go ahead and try to take that Lord for themselves. Potential team fight, by the way, but SLFO should probably not worry about that too much. Alright, Reaper Maul just overextended just a little bit, tried to get the back lines, but it's gonna backfire just a little bit. So that's a one casualty, and both teams back away. They're not gonna be overextending. Lieutenant Custard had to use their ultimate back there. Okay, Farmist, ultimate up, and SLFO is getting pushed back into their base, and Mod Speed's gonna be falling, but Midnight takes Kami. Alright, that base is about to fall, but it's a good thing the minions have been pushed back, and they should probably take the minions from the bottom lane as well. And VG Esports quite low on health, but still they're going for the base. They went for the base, and it's a 1-for-1 on this best of 7. Oh my gosh, it's still anyone's grand finals, guys. And I like what VG Esports did there. They're very, very steady, very, very aggressive, and it's not really the comfort zone of the SLFO. You can see, like in the previous games, SLFO heavily relied on objectives, but they had a little bit of a hard time back there because they were this time around, and so this time it's gonna be VG Esports with the victory. And so just looking at the items, actually steadily VG Esports was steadily getting more items faster than SLFO in this game, and the Sky Piercer definitely helped out quite a lot on the side of Omega especially. But here Midnight, a little bit of maybe mistakes during the team fights. You can see Midnight has 8 to 9 to 3 on the KDA as of the moment, so they got picked off so early on, and that's to think that Ellen and SLFO heavily relies on Midnight to shell out damage for their team. And if Midnight's gonna be the first to fall, everyone should fall back because they don't have a lot of damage. They have a little bit of damage from Reaper as well as Lieutenant Custer, but they rely heavily on Midnight back there. And here our MVP will be Deathfeet L from Vanguards with a KDA of 11 to 2 to 4. Very impressive on the KDA with a GPM of 769, KP percent of 58%. And the item build, we have the Wind Talker, we have the Holy Crystal, of course, some other magical items. So just the Wind Talker, and then the rest is magical build. So definitely helped out quite a lot. It's a really nice build. But here, yes, once again, we have our brackets. So 1-for-1 as of this moment. it's still a best of 7. So if any of these teams want to be the champion of this Esports Flash Series, they'll have to win 3 more times. And we have a long night ahead of us. We have like potentially at most 5 games left to go, and at least 3 more games left to go later on tonight. So that's it for Lenion, SLFO, and VG Esports for our game number 2, guys. This is Gamersland Esports Flash Series, and this is Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and we're already on that grand finals. And yeah, we have a little bit of a change in the tournament format. Yes, we'll have a best of 7 in grand finals. I think this is gonna be permanent for any other Mobile Legends tournaments here in Ooredoo Nation. It's just gonna be a little bit more standardized. To keep up with the rest of the Mobile Legends esports scene. So yeah, guys, once again, do follow our Instagram page. The fireworks. Do follow our Instagram page because that's where all the announcements are gonna go. So if you guys are interested in any other games, not even just Mobile Legends, you can play Valorant and Call of Duty, PUBG especially. We are also hosting tournaments for that. So many tournaments for that. If you see our YouTube channel, where all the lives are gone, there's just so many tournaments every month. At least I think there's at least one tournament every month. So guys, do check out Ooredoo Nation, and of course, guys, do support Ooredoo. If you haven't yet, you can go ahead and check out their 5G products. So you guys just check out maybe your closest Ooredoo store, or maybe check online as well, wherever it applies to you. I don't think Ooredoo is just available in the Maldives. It's also available in many other countries. So yeah, do check that out. And yes, I think we are going to be starting on our game number 3 really, really quickly. It's 1-for-1 as of this moment on this best of 7, and everyone's very happy with the fireworks outside. But yes, we have the Akai and the Arlet ban for VG Esports, and SLFO will be banning that Isun Shin and the Joy. So yeah, that's I think that's it for now, because they're taking quite a while for the next bans. Okay, we have the Eve ban and the Diggy ban as well. So Granger's open, and Midnight kind of like maybe not too much of maybe kind of fumbled just a bit on the positioning of Granger in the previous game. So it's kind of like Omega in game number 1. And right now it was Midnight's Granger in game number 2. Kind of fumbled just a bit on the positioning. But yeah, you guys can go ahead and redeem yourselves really, really quickly. But yeah, Grok is going to be the first pick for Broken on VG Sports. Helped out quite a lot with the stuns, a lot with the wall. It works out really, really well. But here, SLFO will be having the encore for Granger with Handsome Midnight. So maybe take the Minotaur as well. Could be a good choice, especially for Mod's feet. Um, I think there's actually no problem with the lineup of SLFO. Sorry, guys. There's no problem with the lineup of SLFO actually. I think it's just the positioning of SLFO kind of like fumbled just a little bit, or maybe VG Esports was just really good at going for the back lines and trying to take Midnight in. So I think the best thing to do is protect your carries for both sides. It applies to both sides. Both sides should protect their carries a lot. So I think we're gonna be waiting for more picks. We have the same. I believe Doctor used Amon. No. Buckshot was the pick last time, and now they're using Amon. Doctor's gonna be using Amon this time around, and VG Esports. Well, there's no Isan Shin, so let's see what Death Vital is gonna be picking next. So looks like Omega will be going for that Obsidian once again. Obsidian worked really well in the previous game, and this time around they'll use Obsidian once again. But Kami will be using the Loyi, so that's more support heavy mage So there's a lot of crowd control that will be happening here for Luoyi for the side of VG Esports. So SLFO should definitely prepare for that. Like definitely prepare for that. You can't counter that with the Diggy anymore. So Luoyi is definitely gonna be something that you should worry about. But here SLFO will be taking mods will be taking glue for Mad's feet. So that's going to be the roam. Definitely maybe a good choice, especially if they want to break into the back lines. But yeah, that is it for our first phase of picking. Up next is the second phase of the banning. That's Exborg, which was held by Noglu Baglu last time. It's gonna be banned this time around. And then Soyu, just to limit the hero pool of Death Reach L really really quickly. VG Esports, of course, the usual ban. Just don't want that ultimate breaking your formation, and also a lot of the sustain coming in from Yuzhong skills. And let's see what the last ban is gonna look like for VG Esports. I think maybe they could ban Sora perhaps, just so Reaper can't take Sora in. Or they could ban the Lilia just so Lieutenant Kushner should use another player, and it looks like they will be banning the Zitian instead. So we're gonna be going to our next picking. Excuse me. So it looks like they'll be taking the Badang first. Excuse me. Okay, it looks like Nuglu Buglu will be taking the Alice next. So there's a lot of sustain for Nuglu Buglu. And all the while Reaper Mall is sort of more of a crowd control kind of XP laner. Deathbeat L is still gonna be picking, so the Suyo's out of the picture, also the Isan Shin. Not sure what the other hero pools of Deathbeat L is. Let's just see what they kind of hovered on. Okay, we have another pick. Okay, we have Lancelot. Me. Excuse me. Okay, we have Lancelot for that feat also. That's a lot of mobility. Would have been nice to have maybe a Kufra instead, but the Rome has already been picked for SLFO. So, Lancelot can break into the backlines really, really quickly with their mobility. So, an assassin like through and through. So it's gonna be a little bit hard, um, to kind of go up against that. But then yeah, it's gonna be Custard that's left. And the fireworks are really going at it. But then yeah, we're gonna have another Lilia, so that's gonna be stealing our banning and picking phase, our drafting phase rather, for our game number 3. Once again, guys, this is still 1-for-1 on this best of 7. It's gonna be a long night, ladies and gentlemen, and it's New Year's. So we're gonna be hearing a lot of fireworks from all corners of the world. But yeah, this is game number 3 of our Esports Flash Series. Mobile Legends Bang Bang. VG Esports going up against LNN SLFO. It's still anyone's grand finals, guys. It was still a 1-for-1. So game number 1 did go to SLFO. Game number 2 went to VG Esports, and both wins actually attributed to a lot of the mistakes that their gold laners made. So it's both Mega and Midnight kind of made me a little bit uh nervous with the positioning, especially since they got picked off um uh, first things first during team fights, and that's always never a good look. But then yeah, we're looking at um the emblems as of the moment. So I mean it's pretty balanced out, so I don't really have a lot of like comment about it. I think it's a bunch of good choices. We have the Reaper Mall actually using the tank build, tank emblem rather. for Badang. But then yeah, we have a 3 versus 1 already up top, so Naglu might be in trouble here, but that's a lot of sustain actually, so we're talking about an Alice here, guys. So we don't have to worry about Naglu too much. But oh my gosh, what is Doctor doing in the blue zone, on the blue buff of VG? What? I'm so bad. Or rather, no, it's Doctor who got ganked upon. That's the 3 versus 1. It was not a good look. He got caught up in the invade. Because the mod suite kind of just a little bit too late to the party, but Broken might be first to go down after that. Okay, we have a little bit of damage here and there, but still not enough. Oh my gosh, look at the sustain, but Custard finally throwing that skill up against Broken. And Broken is broken. That's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. But it's still a victory for VG Esports a bit, because we're talking about a trade-off tank for jungler, and the junglers are very important in the early game, because the jungler is the hardest hitting hero on the early game, alongside of the mage actually. The team heavily relies on the jungler to shell out a lot of damage, but here Madspeed and Reaper Maul are kind of like trying to poke Naglu back here, but it's gonna be a 3 versus 3 immediately. There's backup here and there, but here the red buff is going to be really contested supposedly, but now we're looking at the turtle that's going to be attempted on as of this moment. Looks like Doctor's still trying to get that red buff, however, so it might be a little bit late to the party. Reaper Maul does say Kami, however, and that turtle's gonna be grease out real quickly. Deathfeed L seems to be prioritizing trying to get the kill, and now it just gives Doctor a little bit more time to try to contest that turtle real quick. So Deathfeed L gets this started. Doctor's just waiting in the bushes. Madspeed's nearby, he's gonna help them out a little bit in terms of vision, and now it's gonna be a potential 2 versus 2 up top, but I don't think we are worrying about that too much. This is the thing about Alice, it's just quite annoying in terms of damage. But here, okay, we have Turtle Dance. It's a little bit too late for the turtle. They should probably take the turtle for themselves so that they can go ahead and let the turtle respawn. But right now, Reaper Maul does take that feat L, so it might be easier for SLFO to take this turtle for themselves now that they don't have retribution. And it's still not starting, by the way. It's a 4 versus 5. 4 versus 4 rather. Poking here and there. No casualties still. Everyone's still high on health. There's not a lot of damage being shelled out as of this moment. And so they're just poking. Okay, finally we have Naglu quite low on health, but we're talking about an Alice with lots of sustain, but still Custard still managed to take the kill for themselves. That feat L finally respawned, and so it just gives enough time to try to contest this dragon. And look at that, not the dragon, the turtle, and the turtle gets stolen by that feat L with the nimble feet of Lancelot. And well, we have a little bit of a chase. Badang, nice set from Badang back there, and Broken and Kami both fall. Midnight taking 2 of those kills. Great start for the farm of the gold laner. I think Omega will be the next target. Potential 4 versus 1 Naglu. Oh my gosh, you do not want to get caught up in there. But Midnight just trying to back away, trying not to give their lifesteal towards Naglu. And now that everyone's kind of backing away, Naglu couldn't get that sustain in, and finally that damage came in. Got Midnight backing away from that feat L. Nice nice positioning from Midnight this time around, but now it's gonna be a 4 versus 4. Alright, so everyone's disengaging, however. SLFO's not gonna be taking this fight, so going back to the farming, I suppose. But Reaper Maul, I'm not sure what they're doing, so overextended. That wall just trying to kind of like trap Reaper Maul. And you can see the chase that just happened back there, taking Kami in hand. And Broken is also trying to get away from all of this. Modspeed dangerously low in health. I think they're gonna be next. Go down, but that else assassinates Midnight. But Kami's gonna be falling once again for the third time. Oh my gosh. 2-for-1 trade. Actually, I don't even know if this is like strictly a 2-for-1 trade. It's like a very long, drawn out team fight that had a few breaks in the middle. But nonetheless, the final scoreboard is 3-9. So heavily leaning on the favor of SLFO. And so we have a couple of seconds left to go before that turtle is gonna come right up. So both teams are gonna be positioning themselves. And let's see, a little bit of damage coming in. So this is 4 versus, rather 5 versus 4, I believe, but Omega's gonna be falling first. Midnight finally getting their Sky Piercer in hand, and 8k on the health of that turtle is gonna be resetting real quickly. Oh my gosh, Broken quite low on health. He managed to get away, and while everyone was distracted, Midnight takes one turret at the bottom. Okay, there's a lot of sustain coming in from the Alice. And we have the glue ultimate trying to get Alice in, but both of them did not take any damage. Death Beetle half health gets caught up with 2, expends their triangle skill. Let's see if they survive this. There's no more skills for the Lancelot. Death Beetle could not get away, but here Nuglebug was trying to come in, but that sustain is coming really nicely from Nuglebug. Almost got set by that Badang, but still not enough to take that Nuglebug. So what SLFO can do right now to counter that Nuglebuggle, that Alice probably got a lot of anti-heals. Okay, we have a tower dive coming in from SLFO. Nice set from the Grok, and that just gives away Reaper Mal. That's 1, that's 2 casualties. Lieutenant Christian coming in second with that Grok wall helping out so much. But Broken is still here, and Modspeed is also nearby. Okay. And we also have Midnight right around the corner, but both teams are going to be disengaging for now. All the while, somewhere out there, Deathbeat Altos take Doctor on the bottom lane, and now Doctor's just, rather, it's Deathbeat Altos just trying to clear out the minion waves. Modspeed gets caught up in a 3 versus 1, try to use the ultimate on there, but looks like it might be turning into a 4 versus 4 in the mid lane if ever it happens. Okay, we see Reaper with the Dominion Eyes. Should help out quite a bit, especially with the Alice. Alright, we have a 3 versus 2 near the river, and there's also a 1 versus 2 on the blue buff. Nonetheless, it's still no casualties just yet. So Nuglebug took a lot of damage. Can't quite sustain, especially since there's no one to steal life from. But a nice move from Nuglebug back there, bringing the glue to the turret. If you go down and I go down too, sort of thinking, you know. So great improvement from both gold laners here. Great improvement on the survivability. But the next Lord's gonna be popping up, so it looks like after so many delays, there's only two turtles. But here on the top lane, what is happening over here? Okay, we have Omega falling by the hands of Midnight, and Midnight getting that double kill. This is the Midnight that I know, guys. This is the Midnight that I know. Just kill after kill, but Deathbeat Elders shut down the Midnight. That's the Assassin beats a Marksman almost all the time. But here, okay, we have Deathbeat L probably gonna get away from Modspeed. But it looks like Dang Reaper Mon's gonna be starting on for that Lord. 3 people from SLFO are gonna be starting that off. Deathbeat L quite far away. And let's see where Doctor is. Doctor's just trying to finish that off, and Deathbeat L is quite nearby. Don't know if they have information. Oh my gosh! Doctor died from the Lord! Oh my gosh. That stressed me out so much. And Deathbeat L stole it too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What just happened back there? Where was the support for Doctor? And now this happened. VG Esports stole the Lord. You let Doctor die. Now Glubag takes down Midnight. That's a Midnight and Doctor down. Okay, we're still trying to fight. Modspeed gonna be falling down next. Omega shelling out so much damage back there. I'm so stressed out. Oh my gosh, what just happened? What just happened? Why? Why? That mistake? Okay, it's not too bad. not too bad since it's still an early game lord. But here, Kami's gonna be falling. Finally, the Doctor has a respawned. And well, it's gonna be easy to defend against this lord. And we still have full turrets for SLFO, so there's not too much to worry about. But it's definitely gonna set SLFO back like a couple of minutes into the game. But then yeah, the mid lane's gonna get contested really quickly. VG Esports trying to put a lot of pressure on there. But SLFO finally lost their first turrets. And you can see VG Esports trying to take a lot of map control for themselves. Over here, okay. We're seeing VG Esports trying to take the bottom lane as well. Omega takes that down really easily. There's a lot of great basic attack damage being shelled out from there. But nonetheless, yes, meanwhile at the top lane, Custard managed to push the minions up, as well as I think that's Blue as well. Okay, mid lane, just a little bit of trade here and there. Omega and Naglubagu fall back there, but I think SLFO is not done just yet. Okay, Midnight's nearby. Great great positioning coming in. And you can see Blue just attaching to themselves to Death Lethal. So they have no choice but to die, and Madspeed just did enough damage just for that particular moment. And right now, Broken got caught up in the Badang wall. Kinda like a, you know, give you your own poison. But over here, it looks like VG Esports instead got the Uno reverse card. They're being pushed back into their base, but here then the cursor falls but gets traded off for Broken. Omega falls as well. Kami's still nearby, still here to shell out damage, and I think Midnight's gonna be falling next. Oh, managed to get away with just a sliver alive. Now it's just Naglubagu versus 4 other people. And Madspeed got caught up into the base, so that's just something that's that it happens, you know, when you're Glue. You get dragged into the worst places possible. But this is slowly being turned into a win for SLFO. You can see the map control going immediately to the side of SLFO, even after the Lord was thrown onto the side of VG Esports. But managed to bounce back, which is really good. And a little bit worried for the KDA, especially for Kami. Look at that, 0 to 8 to 7. So I think the positioning for Loyi kind of matters quite a lot. And we don't expect a lot of kills from Loyi because it's mostly a support kind of character. But here we're having another team fight. Oh my gosh, towards the top, towards the bottom lane. Reaper Maul is quite low in health. And you can see SLFO is disengaging as much as possible. Doctor should probably not be there. They need a doctor themselves. And okay, that is way too low in health. Midnight already fell a while ago, so they don't have much damage if Doctor wasn't there. And Custard also backed away really quickly. I don't know what Madspeed is doing here. You should probably get away. And okay, they managed to get away. I don't know if this guy has an ultimate in hand. They had an ultimate. They expended their immortality back there. So it's not like a complete respawn that happened back there. But here, we have a little bit of a lore dance. I don't know if Custard has their ultimate. It looks like they don't actually have their ultimate. So they'll have to heal up the normal way. They're just dancing around the Lord. They're orbiting around the Lord here, and that both teams are orbiting the Lord. Okay, we have the Badang wall coming right up. We have Midnight quite low in health, and Naglubagu will probably teleport into the area. Nice job, Midnight versus Naglubagu. Nice positioning from Midnight back there, not letting Naglubagu get that sustain. And all right, we have a little bit of a backlines broken by that Feet L back there. Managed to get Midnight in hand, but still that's 3 people down from VG Esports. So still no Lord inside whatsoever. They were just there for the vibes and also the team fight, but it looks like VG Esports will get this Lord started. But Doctor's nearby. I think Doctor should probably back away really quickly. Okay, we have Deathbeat L quite low on health. They should probably finish the job, and Omega got mounted on by Glue. I know, right? The recall was so... Oh my gosh. It was a great execution from SLFO of seeing Omega and Death both low on health, from trying to take the Lord, and SLFO punishing them for that, and it just gives them SLFO just a little bit more breathing room, and now they can go ahead and make their push. But here on the blue buff, Mansfi's just trying to take maybe that blue buff for themselves. Kami fell once again, 0 to 11 to 9 on the KDA as of this moment. And I think Mansfi is in trouble over here. Got brought into worst place possible. But there was 3 people down on the side of VG Esports, and Lieutenant Custer just got their Holy Crystal, so we're gonna be hitting hard. We're gonna get hit quite hard, and they managed to break into the top inhibitor turret. So I think this is gonna be the start of the beginning of the end, actually, for this game number 3. Okay, Omega's trying to get away from the base. It's just because of the positioning, and you can see SLFO is kind of trying to chase that down. I don't know if it's a good idea, however, but Omega managed to buy time, but still, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because SLFO still won that game number 3. So that's a 1-2 on the scoreboard as of this moment. Nice execution from SLFO back there. Finally, a lot great improvements. And this time around, it was actually Kami that kind of made me nervous for the side of VG Esports, because the kit of Loyi would be so with the crowd control that it can give. The Loyi crowd control, like I would have expected perhaps that same crowd control we saw when there was a Minotaur, when there was a Grok, and there was also a Sora, but it's just not happening. We're not seeing a lot of crowd control from Loyi. I didn't feel the presence of the Loyi, so I think that was one thing that kind of could be improved from VG Esports back there. Omega improved drastically. I'm really proud of Omega back there, and with the Obsidia that they held in hand. But right now, SLFO is just great improvement on Midnight as well. And here we have our MVP, which is Mad's feet, actually the glue. Even though they got caught up in a lot of bad situations, still that glue finished off a lot of players from VG, and kind of scared away a lot of the players from VG, like attaching themselves to Death Feet L or Omega. It kind of helped so much on breaking the back lines of VG Esports. So congratulations once again to SLFO for getting this victory, this second victory. And so if ever it's going to be the victory of SLFO for this best of 7, they'll have to win 2 more games. But on the other hand, VG Esports has 3 more games left to go. So it's still a new format for our tournaments here in Mobile Legends on Ooredoo Nation. So our grand finals will now be a best of 7. So potentially we might be seeing maybe at least 2 more games, or at most, oh my gosh, I'm really bad at math, 4 more games. So well, that's kind of it for our game number 3. And it looks like we will be taking a short break because we had 3 games in a row. So guys, do not go anywhere. We'll be seeing you in a few minutes. So we'll see you then.
Welcome to Ooredoo Nation.
The Gamers Land.
Kia balakiyan kalu kalu kuru kuru kalu kalu kiruli kukulu fast ko kiala karkur kalu kirulu no kalu kuru kalu kiruli kukulu
ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏದೋ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಹಲವು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಕ ಉರಿದೂಗೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ನೆಟ್
kalu kuru kalu kiruli kukulu
ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಏದೋ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಹಲವು ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಅಕ ಉರಿದೂಗೆ ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಸೂಪರ್ ನೆಟ್ ಎದು ಸ್ಮಿಯಂ ಐ ಲಿವೆ
Fonuga vibuli hayata netungulila nita kummisaki mezuga e fresh gameuga kululu speeduga e PUBG ganda
Snap kure aisa ka meme taka e furi feeduga e tekutoku fura
एफिड चेक तका बे ओजी फशा ए साली ट्रेंड का एकी बजी दुआ
Puro liberty, technology, libe kuri eroma, eko haru fatuga, libe hus baguta, bagutung ufala, libe huwa fenta, fuga leche, libe fa.
ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬೊಡು 5G ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್
Bebe, bebe, क्या हो रखा? Bebe, मी क्या हो रखा?
ಕಮೆಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಾಲೊಮ್ಮೆ ಉದಗು ಕಮೆದ್ದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾದ ಕಮೆಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಾಲಂಬೇಣೊಮಿಯ ಉರಿದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾದ ಕುರಿಯರುಮೆಂಗ್ ಅವಹ ಬೇಣುಂದೋ 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಹಯಾತುಗ ಅವಹ ಕುರಿಯರುಂಗ್ ಹೋದಾಲಂ ಬೇಣುಮಿಯ ಉರಿದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಮಡುಕುರುಮ್ಮಿ ವರ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಮೆದ್ದು 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ ಸತೇಕ ಗುಣ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ತಜುರ್ಬಾ ಕೊಲ್ಲುಮ ಉರಿದೂಗೆ 5G ಜಸ್ಸಾಲ
ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಇತುರು ಹರಫತಕ ರಾಜ್ಯಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಸಳಿ ಗೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಉರಿದು
And we are back once again. This is still the grand finals of our Mobile Legends Bang Bang Esports Flash Series under Ooredoo Nation with our gaming partners E2S Gaming, Lenion, and Maldives Esports Association. Once again, I'm still your shoutcaster, and we just a quick recap. We had 3 games already out of this best of 7, and so first game went to LNN SLFO. Second game went to VG Esports. Third game went to LNN SLFO. Kind of feels like an official like an MPL sort of tournament as of this moment, because they're really head to head, they're neck to neck as of this moment. Both teams kind of just like in a little bit of a push and pull. Both the rest of their games. So everyone should just kind of calm down, really really quickly, just calm down, take a breather, and I think that's exactly what they were doing during the break. And hopefully now that they've got their bearings once again, we'll see a little bit more calmer games later on. But then yeah, we are back into the drafting phase, and there's a heads up, there's 11 minutes before New Year here. So if you guys start hearing a bunch of fireworks, I'm really really sorry, but they're very very loud. But here we have our bands already. So Joy and Ethan Shin got banned by SLFO right now. And then for VG Esports, you're gonna be banning Arlot and Akai for the same reasons. We saw those bans like a couple of games ago. And also the Diggy will be banned, so will be will be quite free in terms of choosing those crowd control heroes. And now VG Sports, they just have to ban one more, so they could ban potentially maybe the Granger of Midnight. They could definitely do that, but I'm not really seeing I don't know who they're gonna be banning really quickly. Okay, VG Esports has pulled out Isaac Foster, and hmm I love Isaac Foster. I think if I remember correctly, this guy, Isaac Foster, is quite the marksman, I believe. So I'm really really excited to see what the play style is gonna look like of VG Esports now that we have another sub in. So looks like we're gonna be skipping the last ban of VG Esports. We'll go straight to Mod's feet, getting Badang first and foremost. And now Broken's gonna be taking that roam, that Grok. And Isaac Foster looks like it will be staying on the XP lane this time around. Now, SLFO will be answering back. I mean, there's still, I mean, this drafting phase can still go a lot of ways. Not really worried too much about the bans as of this moment. Um, well, a lot of things are still open, especially the Granger. The Granger is still open, and SLFO should probably take that Granger for themselves if they don't want it banned in the next phase. But Lieutenant Custer will be getting that Sicilian, and it would probably be a good idea to get the Carmilla after that. But Doctor will be taking the Suyu just in case, because usually VG Esports sometimes they ban the Suyu. So now that it's open, Doctor will be taking that Suyu for themselves. And then now one last pick for VG Esports. Kami, Death, and Omega. I mean, these are damage dealers, so they have to pick one to reveal before the next phase of the banning. So no choice. I think the best bet is probably maybe giving Kami their mage real quick, because Lieutenant Custard already had their pick. So right now there's just a couple of seconds left to go before that timer is gonna scroll down. It looks like we'll be seeing a Clint for our gold lane this time around. Omega will be using the Clint. Alright, we're back to the banning phase. And you can still ban the Midnight's Granger, by the way. And Reaper Mal, they could ban the Sora. Or who did Reaper use last time? But oh yeah, Badang is already used, but that's under Mad's feet. So we're talking about a Roamer Badang instead. So still no ban in hand. I don't know if VG Sports even wants to ban anything. Okay, we're seeing a Minotaur ban instead. And then SLFO, you're gonna be banning the Amon. And then coming up next, another ban for VG Esports. And I mean, we can target Midnight here, and we can also target Reaper. So XP laner or a marksman slash goal laner. So You can also ban the Harith because Midnight has held on to Harith before. Okay, it looks like they'll be banning Carmilla instead. So you won't be seeing any chance of a Sicilian Carmilla combo. And SLFO will be answering back with a Fredrin ban. And this just limits the hero pool of Deathbeat L just a little bit. So now first pick, Kami or Deathbeat L. It is either the mid laner or the jungler. So I think they'll be giving Kami their pick first. Most likely. But it's also possible they'll probably just give Deathbeat L their pick as well. We have a couple seconds left to go. Let's see if they lock this in. What if it's a Karina? Is it gonna be a Karina? Okay, they're gonna be switching that out. They're locking in. Ooh, a Nolan. Okay, we'll have a Nolan for Deathbeat L. Anyways, Nolan had fallen off from the meta quite a bit these last few seasons, last few months. So we still see Nolan every once in a while, but it's not like auto banned anymore kind of level, you know. I think some of the heroes that are like constantly being banned despite years passing already. I think it's Diggy. Diggy is the most banned because it's just so OP. Diggy's ultimate can counter like most tanks. You know how you pick tanks for crowd control? Yeah, Diggy just counters all of those. And when you kill Diggy, the passive is so annoying. Like this guy doesn't go back to Fountain. They go ahead and just roam around the map as an egg, giving vision with no consequences to their team. But then, yeah, it looks like Midnight will be using the Harith this game number 4, and Reaper Mall will be using the Minsatar, and Kami will be the last pick, and they'll be using the Faramis, which is good because Faramis is a really nice, for their team. So, guys, this is once again game number 4 of our Lenion, SLFO, and VG Esports for our best of 7 grand finals. So, it's 2-1 on the scoreboard. SLFO has the lead. They won 2 games versus VG Esports with 1 game so far. Right now, it's a pretty nice lineup. SLFO should probably end the game quite fast because we're talking about Omega having a traditional marksman. So we're looking at a long game for VG Esports, while SLFO should probably end the game as soon as possible if they want to, because they don't have like a carry in hand, like a typical carry. But the Harith could still be a carry. They rely on items quite a bit, but still Sicilian could be a late game as well, so they could rely on Sicilian quite a lot in the late game. So let's just see what the execution will look like later on. But guys, this is the emblems as well. It's heavily on the magical side for the side of SLFO, and it's a little more varied on the side of VG Esports. So let's just keep this a little bit more exciting. And we're still half a minute into the game, so we're seeing a bunch of pokes on the XP lane. Reaper Mall's trying to get away. I don't know if there'll be a first blood just yet. Reaper is definitely trying to hold back. They're being pushed back into the turret. And no invades whatsoever just yet, so not to worry too much. And well, after that, we still have less than a minute left to go before that turtle comes up. And we can see some teams they're already building their boots really quickly. But I think we're just looking at the positioning here. Okay, there's fireworks already, guys. But then, yeah, we're looking at a potential 3 versus 2. on I'm so sorry about that, guys. There's a 3 versus 2 on the bottom lane. And Broken's a little bit broken back here. They have a lot of health being taken away from themselves. But they're gonna be holding back. They're gonna be returning back into the fountain, but it might not be a very good idea because that turtle's already gonna be spawning. We have a 1 minute left to go before New Year here, but if it gets really loud, I'm gonna be muting because it's quite noisy. But then yeah, the turtle is up. You can see Suyu's already positioning themselves, Doctor's already positioning themselves towards the turtle, but still Death Beat L is also nearby with a lot more backup than Doctor. So he's seeing maybe 3 versus 3 as of the moment. They're not even looking at the turtle yet. But yes, Fire Mist ultimate being expended, but still nonetheless, Custer does take the first blood, but Death Beat L follows right after that. That is a 3-4-0 trade. BG Esports heavily losing that team fight, and now SLFO can cleanly take this turtle in hand for themselves. And looks like Doctor will be slaying the first turtle, and that's all just a little bit shy of 3 minutes into the game. Guys, Happy New Year! It's the New Year in the Philippines right now, and there are fireworks right now, so what the hell is that sound? But then yeah, guys, Happy New Year! It's been a while. You guys are asking what sound is that? I have no idea. It sounds like a freaking mob. It sounds like a freaking mob, but yeah, I'm not even gonna worry about that. But finally, it's not noisy, and it's a good thing nothing's much is happening in the map as of this moment. We have more than a minute left to go before the next turtle's gonna come right up. Okay, potentially there's a 3 versus 3 in the top lane, however. Broken is quite low on health, so they can't be able to tank a lot of the damage. So, we're seeing SLFO. Oh, they're overextending quite a bit, okay? Tommy, try to use their ultimate. I can't hear anything. Okay, I think the fireworks stopped. But guys, sorry I had to mute. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna be muting again. Okay, I think we're quiet again. And it looks like we have a 4 versus 3 on the turtle. We have a suppression on Kami, but Kami falls anyway. Isaac Foster might be coming back next once their armor falls down. But Isaac Foster, yes, they expended their armor, and that took 2 from the side of BG Esports. And now both of the remaining people, what is Matsby doing? They're taunting Death Beat and Broken. You can see Broken and Death Beat both don't want to move, but Kami has already freshly respawned in. Doctor swiftly taking that turtle for themselves. VG Esports being pushed back into their base. The map control is easily going to the side of SLFO. Oh my gosh, 11-7 as of the moment on the scoreboards. Amazing as of this moment. So great development coming in from SLFO. They have the two turtles already. Great improvement, absolutely great improvement. Unfortunately, they just lagged around with the turtles. So turtles in this game. So next up is gonna be the Lord in about a minute and a half. And you can see VG Esports I think they're trying to take the bottom lane for themselves. This is a potential 4 versus 3. Modspeed is also nearby. One good set and we might be seeing something good, but it only takes Broken in hand. And Farm is ultimate coming right up. Custard right behind him. Not a very good positioning, but they manage to dash away. All right, we have a great positioning from Custard over here, and I think Isaac Foster is going to be falling next. Modspeed giving the chase, and that's a nice hit by Midnight over there. And the 3 other surviving players of VG Esports, they'll be pulling back. Omega and Kami, yes, they have the damage, but that Vital cannot tank that damage for them. They're all glass cannons as of this moment. They can't survive the lineup of SLFO as of this moment. You can see the map control, the beautiful map control, and Kami might be falling next. We're talking about a really good map control. You can see SLFO confidently marching up towards the jungle of VG Esports, and now they're taking the upper turret as well. We're still 8 minutes in the game, ladies and gentlemen. You can see how confident SLFO is marching up towards all these turrets. All right, we have a little bit of a set from Badang, but it's not working out well. That's a nice hit from the Grok. 3 stunts in hand, and that just helps Isaac Foster take 1. And there's a Dominion Ice over the side of Isaac Foster, so it's just gonna help out quite a bit against the healing of SLFO. But here we have maybe a Lord Dance. There's a 4-man team coming in from VG Esports, and still Doctor and Midnight are... Oh my gosh, what was that? Was that a firework? I love that. Happy New Year, guys. There are fireworks in the assets. It's really nice to watch. But yeah, that Lord's gonna be going to VG Esports. Yes. Okay, Omega slays the Lord. I thought Modspeed would probably steal that, but it doesn't happen. And so VG Esports can potentially use this Lord to push back the rest of the minions from the side of their base. So that's pretty nice. We can have like a little bit of the Lord kind of marching towards back, but I was expecting maybe VG Esports can use this time to go ahead and make a lot of pushes, but it looks like they'll be prioritizing on this team fight, on this very dire team fight. You can see Omega ran away. I'm like, I'm out of here. And then Kami, unfortunately, being the sacrifice, go on without me, dude. Go on without me. But nonetheless, yeah, that's pretty much it. We have so far VG Esports finally had a breather once they took the Lord for themselves. You can see that the map control is slowly going to their side. What is FPL doing? But the nice set coming in from the Grok. That's 2 down for the side of SLFO from the stun. Modspeed a little bit too late, but Reaper and Midnight right behind them. Let's see if they can go ahead and give this kill in the bag. Isaac Foster might be falling next, and that's Midnight taking the kill for themselves. Kami's still nearby. That Vital's nearby as well. Okay, let's see if they can poke Broken and try to draw out the rest of the players. Okay, that Vital's nearby. Kami also there. Alright, Reaper takes down Broken, but still, we have the Virus ultimate coming in. That Vital's so quite low on health. I think it could have been manageable, but SLFO is gonna be disengaging. Right now they could go ahead and prioritize perhaps instead with pushing back the minions really quickly. And so just looking at the stats real quickly, it looks like Midnight is 5-1-4 on the kill feed, on the KDA. So it's a nice start to the carry of SLFO. Omega, however, I'm a little bit nervous because it's 1-2-3-2-3 on the KDA. They just got the Malefic gun, so I guess it's okay, just a little bit. They have a little bit of iteming on their side, but it's gonna be messy on the bottom lane. Nice set coming in from the Grok as usual. SLFO 3 stunts, but still not quite the follow-up that we want to see. Okay, a little bit of a set. Farm is using their ultimates, so that buys just a little bit more time. Okay, Kami's gonna be falling down first. Doctor manages to break into that backlines. Isaac Foster expands their armor, and look at that set two caught up in the Badang wall. That's two down as well. Nice follow-up coming in from SLFO. This is what I'm talking about. Um, just keep watching your roamer. Just keep seeing, like, if they set, you have to follow up immediately with your damage. That's your responsibility as a damage dealer, and that's exactly what SLFO is doing right. That's exactly what their execution, they're executing rather correctly. But then yeah, we're going to look at the Lord really quickly. SLFO is already shaving it down to half health, but look at this, they're drawing out a team fight. There's one, there's two down. That's both damage dealers of BG Esports falling, and Deathbeat also just trying to be chased down, but they managed to get away. Doctor takes that ward uncontested whatsoever, and now SLFO can smoothly try to go ahead and take the map control once again, and so that's gonna be a little bit easier because they have a buff on their minions from that Lord fight. But then yeah, so this moment you can see SLFO, they're not really being taunted by BG Esports as of this moment. They're really kind of prioritizing the map control as of this moment. So the Lord's gonna be marching up front, and then you can see SLFO, the rest of them are just trying to push the minions at the mid or back the bottom lane as well. Okay, 3 people SLFO guarding the Lord, but as expected, we won't be seeing the Lord marching up to the inhibitor. What is happening on the bottom lane? This is gonna be a 4 versus 2. Midnight dangerously low on health. You can see the X-Borg ultimate being expended right here, and so that's no more armor. And Deathbeat has the Blade of Despair in hand. So I think just looking at the map real quick, the minions got pushed back to the middle. And there's a team fight. What is happening? Madspeed actually caught 2, and so that was a double kill. It's Omega and Kami too, so the squishies, the carries. You do not want to see your carries with a KDA like that, because you're relying on for the damage, and if you don't protect your carries, then where's your damage gonna come from? It's gonna be harder. What's Madspeed doing? But yeah, it's a nice nice execution from SLFO, breaking the back lines and targeting as much as possible Omega and Kami. Maybe just a bonus, Deathbeat L can also be targeted as well. But here in the blue buff, when VG Esports, that blue buff was getting contested. Could have been a team fight, but it didn't happen. You can see Deathbeat L already positioning themselves nearby with the Lord, but it's still less than a minute left to go, about 40 seconds. And let's just wait. It was just quite a shame. Broken is so good at stunning and kind of setting the team fight for VG Esports advantage, but it's just not followed up like really that well. Okay, I think we're starting off. Broken actually taking getting taken by SLFO back there. Okay, that's a really slow stun, and Kami gets caught up in. No more damage dealers for VG Esports once again, and now you can see cleanly that SLFO go ahead and march up to the mid lane, and Isaac Foster's currently the only one right now that can march to the middle, and I'm not sure what's wrong with Deathbeat L. They were just standing there. I thought they were lagging or something, but it looks like they were just trying to look at the Lord, but it's way too late. It's way too late. SLFO had all the time in the world to push the minions towards mid, and now they can cleanly take that base for themselves. That is now scoreboard on this best of 7 once again, and I don't know what my comments are this time. Of like VG Esports just lag behind in terms of kills as well, and so that pushes them, that sets them back quite a lot in terms of gold and in terms of farming capabilities farming potential. And on the other hand, SLFO, great executions on their part, always have to catch the carries first. That's what Modspeed is doing as of this moment. They catch Omega and Kami, take them down, and now VG Esports literally have no ammo to go alongside with the team fights. So I mean, this is pretty much it. I don't know what else to say. It's just maybe the lineup isn't that much of a issue. Like at my point, I think it's not really much of the lineup, but more on the execution. The heroes are fine. You can see like in any other matchup, if you're not looking at the grand finals, you're looking at the semifinals and quarterfinals. They are all these teams, these players are all like they have expertise on the heroes that they are using. It's just that maybe there's like a little bit of nerves in this grand finals. I don't know what's happening, but yeah, the MVP is Modspeed with a KDA of 82 to 21 and GPM of 685 and a KP of 97%. So mostly tank build. You have the immortality and the minion ice as well, and well that's very useful for the Badang, and the fact that once Badang catches those like the team members of the opposing team, the team members of VG Esports, it's just such a nice set, and you can see the rest of the damage dealers, Custard and Midnight, they follow up with such a beautiful damage, and so you don't see the set going to waste. So that's one thing that I really like about the executions of LR and SLFO. Um, Beautiful sets, but beautiful follow ups by the damage dealers as well. So kudos to them, and I hope to see that same consistency, especially since we are already on the match point on this best of seven for the grand finals, and so we're going straight to game number five really quickly. And so I mean, it's gonna be one last game at least, and then at most we're gonna be seeing maybe two more games. Am I calculating this right? At most three more games rather. At most three more games. And yeah, once again, guys, this is Esports Flash Series, Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Tournament hosted by Ooredoo Nation and also gaming partners East West Gaming, Lenion, and Maldives Esports Association. Guys, don't forget to check out the products of Ooredoo. I'm sure they have 5G, and so they are pretty much available in um, most of your malls. So do check out the products, and of course, some Ooredoo isn't just limited to Maldives. So if you guys are from outside of Maldives, do check out Ooredoo if it's available in your nation as well. And so yeah, for anything else, do check out the Instagram of Ooredoo Nation as well, because it's not just Mobile Legends that are the tournaments for this organization. We also hold Valorant tournaments. We have Call of Duty tournaments, and of course the ever popular PUBG tournaments, like very long tournaments. We have the Contender Series as well that you guys should definitely check out, and of course also follow the Instagram for any sort of announcements, because they do open the tournament for like any team as long as you're like five and just follow the requirements. Then I'm pretty sure even like casuals can go ahead and join the tournament. So guys, do check it out, and it'd be really nice to see like maybe rising stars joining in and maybe getting scouted as well in future tournaments. And so yeah, um do like and subscribe as well, and make a lot of noise in the live stream comments in our YouTube channel. I mean, you're watching the stream right now, but do try to subscribe and or donation, and also make a lot of noise in the live comment section. So we have a lot of fun here. But then yeah, we are going back to the game. I'm just like kind of yapping as like just waiting for them to ban, because the bans are still the same. But this is the only important part. The Badang is being banned. And so the Badang had a huge help in that previous game. And that Badang is being banned. Uh Maybe a setback for SLFO. Let's just see what that looks like later on. But yeah, First pick is going to be the Minotaur. Broken is gonna take that Minotaur for themselves. So once again, great sets and great healing as well. So you see sometimes Minotaur does get banned, and there's a reason for that because Minotaur is just absolutely amazing setter as well as healer, and so great roamer, very versatile. But here for SLFO, they'll be taking Carmilla, and you know what would be great if they take Sicilian as well, just so they have an extra skill to use between the two of them. But okay, Modsweet does get the Carmilla, and it looks like Reaper Mall will be taking the export instead. And it looks like Isaac Foster is getting subbed out for Nuggle Buggle once again. So we'll be seeing Isaac Foster. We'll probably just see Isaac Foster for one game. But here, Kami will be taking the Valentina. So if you guys have an ultimate, Valentina's gonna steal that away from them. So I think what I'd worry the most about is Valentina stealing Carmilla's ultimate, because Carmilla has a lot of shred, a lot of resistance down. I believe that's resistance down, or like taking more damage if you get hit by that ultimate. So you definitely don't want to get caught up in that during a team fight. But yeah, Valentina could pretty much steal any other ultimate. I'm not sure what would happen if she take Xborg's ultimate, but yeah, you know what? I think Carmilla would be a better bet. And let's just see what the rest of the lineup will look like later on. And Deathbeat L will be taking the Amon. We saw the Deathbeat L Amon a couple of games ago, or was that last game? Or rather, that's the Nolan rather, in a couple of games ago. So, pretty tried and tested rather. So no comments about that, just maybe the execution. But here at SLFO, yes, they will be having the Sicilian Carmilla combo being blocked, being C blocked by Reaper Mal. Why? But you know what, fine, you guys can like go ahead and separate the two of them. It's been so nice to have them both sit together. But yeah, we're gonna have a Sicilian and Carmilla combo, and so why that's really important is because Sicilian and Carmilla can have an extra skill if they're paired together. So the thing is, Sicilian could um like I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it's officially explained in the lore, but basically Sicilian could like get Carmilla and like hold her ghost or something. Like she pulls, he pulls Carmilla, and I just imagine that Sicilian kind of carries Carmilla around and for a few seconds, so Carmilla cannot be targeted during that time. So basically, if say Mod's feet into the team fight takes a lot of damage, literally just a sliver of health, like literally 1 HP, Sicilian or Custard can push a button on their phone and take Carmilla out of the battle as long as she's near enough. And so after that, they can carry Camilla around, help her out or something, save them out of trouble. And then after that, in a couple of seconds, or if Custard wants to, if Cecilia wants to, they press the button again. Or rather, it's Camilla that presses a button on their side of the phone, and then they jump out into, and then when they jump out they deal a bit of damage as well as gain a shield. So yeah, that's the extra skill that Cecilian and Carmilla have. So Cecilian can save Carmilla, and Carmilla can jump right out and damage, and also I believe deal damage, and also take a shield. So it's really really important, maybe like for ganks or like for saving Carmilla in dire situations, especially since Cecilian is usually hiding on the back lines as safe as possible. But then yeah, after that, yes, we are having a ban once again. After all that talking, they're still not done with the banning. Okay, we have the Hylos and the Ixia ban for SLFO, and BG Esports just gave that respect ban on the Granger. So yeah, that's pretty much it so far. And we have the Brody to finish off with the bans. And so with that, we're gonna go on to the picking once again. So midnight, we have the Harith is the Harith is still open for midnight. And for Doctor, I think yeah, Ascension is out of the question. So um Maybe Suyu could be an alternative for Doctor, or they can take the back shot for themselves. Depending on what Midnight is going to choose, because Lieutenant Custard, Sicilian already has a nice amount of damage, but the damage is gonna be a late game kind of damage. Okay, we have a Saber. Okay, we have a Saber jungler for SLFO this time around. So Saber is a glass cannon. So basically, so little health but so much damage packed into one tiny person. And so well a great assassination potential for Doctor, and they can go ahead and break the back lines, especially since there's a lot of squishy heroes as well in VG Esports. Okay, I was just distracted at the fact that they took Hanabi, which is I haven't seen in a while in the esports. They're usually not chosen, but if Omega is uh comfortable with using the Hanabi, then that's no problem at all. And we have Naglubaglu using the Ruby. Ruby has so much sustain, so much life steal, and so much crowd control that you should probably be worried. If you have the Minotaur and a Ruby combination, you're not gonna move. You're just gonna sit there on the team fight doing nothing because of all that crowd control. I'm kind of worried about that. And here comes Hanabi, usually already immune to crowd control. So it's gonna be a little, it's very, it's quite an interesting lineup for VG Esports actually. So I'm kind of wondering what this execution is gonna look like later on. But here, Midnight will be taking the Farsa, and so you guys, I absolutely love Farsa because I am a Farsa main before. I was a Farsa main back when Farsa was still meta, and guys, I love the fireworks. I love the fireworks. I think in an hour or so, our back end will have their actually in half an hour our back end will have their New Year's as well. And I'm presuming in the Maldives you guys will have your New Year's in 2 hours and 2.5 hours. So, guys, happy New Year once again, and thank you so much for spending it with Ooredoo Nation. I don't know, like for you guys, I think you guys can probably catch up to New Year's immediately. That's probably why we moved the bronze match to another day, so that the teams that are going to be playing on the bronze match, they can go ahead and get to their plans. I think the grand finalists can still have a little bit more time to catch up, maybe go to their parties. It's still 9:30 or 9:26 p.m. rather in Mali right now. I'm just basing it on my time on the phone, but I'm not sure what Naglubaglu is doing here. I think they're just kind of like freezing the lanes. You can see Reaper Mal taking that crab immediately, but we have a first blood already. Okay, that's actually going to be Kami getting taken out, and Mod's feet getting that kill for themselves. Okay, Reaper's kind of poking here and there to overstepping just a little bit, but nothing too worrying. It's just XP laners going at it against each other. Okay, we're just gonna watch out for the rest of the game. So far, not too shabby. We have the usual Hanabi lineup with the shields and everything, and Kami might be in trouble once again. What is happening over here? That's the second death of Kami, and well, it's gonna be a bit worrying. And we can see like there was a potential gank at the bottom, and you can see just ganging up on Omega back there, but Midnight did lose their life in that skirmish as well. So, why did I just realize this now? Why is Midnight Farsa? Midnight is the carry, so I don't know what's gonna be happening here. I think we're relying a lot on a doctor for the physical damage. But over here in the top lane, okay, we have the 3 versus 3 because they're using their ultimate, chilling out a lot of damage. We have Kami first casualty here, but Mods is quite low on health. That feat L takes 1, takes 2, finishes them off. Custard might be the 3rd. That's a triple kill from Deathfeet L. Great catching up in terms of gold and points. And now you can see VG Esports easily taking that turtle for themselves. And well, the turtle has been slain for 4 on the scoreboard as of this moment. And everyone's just trying to go ahead and go back to their lanes, go back to their farms. And you can see there's a 3-man stack on the side of VG Esports at the bottom lane. Okay, Omega does have the scythe already, so they have 1 item built. And here, I think we have a little bit of trouble happening in SLFO. They're stacking on the lower lane. Looks like Midnight will have a 1 punch for themselves. Take 1 more hit. Okay, broken and gets taken down as well. But Ladan and Custard takes 2. It's actually gonna be Cecilion and Farsha will be taken out. But definitely finally getting assassinated by Doctor back there. So just a little bit too late on the catching up. But Naglabago should probably get away right now. Oh my gosh, what is happening over here? Overstepping just a little bit, and you don't want to get caught up in the stacks of an X-board because you think X-board doesn't hit hard, but once like that stack goes up, you can see like the green to red sort of thing that pops up near your character. If that goes to red, you're gonna take a lot of damage, so you don't want that. Okay, Modfeet could have stunned Omega. Okay, they could not actually have stunned Omega back there because Hanabi does have a skill that prevents them from being crowd controlled. But then yeah, they thought they got broken, but they were like, no, this is a tank, let's just leave them alone. Okay, Kami's nearby now. Nagibaglu is also waiting, and Broken is there for backup. Okay, they got caught up in the claw just back there. Okay, Nagibaglu tries to go ahead and get Custard, but it's not enough damage, and it looks like they're taking a bit of damage. Oh my gosh, Custard got caught up right there. That's a 2 versus 2, but Nagibaglu lose their life first, and Broken follows up. Custard dangerously low on health, getting taken out by, who was that? That was Kami. In the end, that's 2 casualties going on the side of SLFO, but in the end, still, there's 4 down on the side of VG Esports. You see, there's still 3 people standing on SLFO while VG Esports got wiped out. Doctor can easily get that turtle for themselves. Please don't get executed back there. Oh my gosh, that Lubago's nearby. Please go back there. Just that kind of like scared me just a little bit. And VG Esports left the turtle alone. I don't know what's happening over here, but it was very stressful. It was very stressful. But SLFO should end this game as soon as possible. They do not have a carry. Their carry is Farsa. And Farsa's not very item dependent. I mean, I don't feel like it's very item dependent, but Custard does stack a bit. So Cecilian is a mostly like a late game sort of mage, so maybe they can rely on Custard later on, and then Midnight for early on. So with that, Omega does destroy 1 turret, and you can see SLFO eyeing that turtle. Okay, they're backing away, so maybe they're not gonna go for the turtle. They're trying to go for those team fights perhaps instead. There's Nagdobaglu and Broken nearby. There's an attempt on the set. Broken, really nice set back there, but still, this is the problem with VG Esports. No follow-up on the damage. You can see Reaper Maul took Deathbeat L just like that, and Broken's gonna be following up after that. And Kami took a bit of damage back there, and Naglobaglo still trying to go for that CC. Kami, I don't think they have a lot of skills left. Doctor, meanwhile, sneakily taking that turtle for themselves. I think that was just trying to kind of like put a lot of distractions. Still, another casualty. Kind of stressed at the scoreboard right now. It's 8-18, and you can see the KDA, especially of their carries. It's not looking good, guys. Not looking good. Deathbeat L is carrying a lot of the kills as of this moment, but VG Esports can still bounce back. It's not too late. They still have a lot of their turrets. They only have one turret down on their side. And they traded it off with SLFO's top turret as well. So it's not too late to try and start again. But then here, SLFO, they're trying for that bottom lane as well. But you can see Naguboglan broken. And also Omega is nearby to try and go ahead and defend that turret. And okay, potentially, maybe, okay, we have a stun from the Farsa. Broken got stunned back there, but they're not going to be trying to get this team fight in. They're not initiating quite yet. Okay, maybe in the mid lane we're gonna be seeing something interesting. And Reaper Mall putting a Sky Piercer on the export. Okay, that's an interesting move. But here, potential 4 versus 4 mid lane. Let's see if someone tries to initiate. Alright, Kami, very low in health, gets caught up in the Farsa ultimate. That's one casualty. And Deathbeat L does take Custard, and so that's a trade-off. Mage for mage. Okay, might be a third. Okay, mod speed dangerously low in health. Nice set from Broken back there, but still no follow-up. Not enough follow-up. Midnight takes a Broken down. That was such a nice set from the Minotaur, but still not quite enough. Okay, we have Farsa's ultimate coming right up. Have a monster kill. Nong the Bug was going to be falling down. You can see Amon's kind of like knocking down the door. They're eyeing that Lord as of this moment. And you can see the gold lead. There's actually a 5k gold lead from SLFO right now. So let's I think like as of this moment, the itemization it just gives a lot of advantage for SLFO for the team fights. And Broken's gonna be falling down first. They're already on low health at the start. Okay, we should eye Deathbeat L because Deathbeat L will probably try to go to the back ends and try to take either Midnight or Custard. So they should watch the back. So right now, Modspeed maybe gonna be poking the Lord as of this moment, and they're gonna make short work of that Lord. Still a lot more time for VG Esports to go ahead and try to contest that, but it looks like that won't be happening. VG Esports is just trying to take a bit of map control for themselves. So that's everyone's going back to their places. Just itemization, pushing back minions. Not much to say actually. It's just that really nice execution from Midnight here. They're 8226 on the KDA as of this moment. Doctor Souls 504. Lieutenant Custer 0412. Modspeed 3216. Reaper Mall 825. Beautiful KDA coming in from SLFO. On the other hand, VG Esports, I think they'll have to go ahead and back away and try to defend their base as much as possible. But you can see Deathbeat L just maybe try to backdoor, but they're gonna be backing away. Okay, they'll go ahead and try to take the turret, and hopefully we won't see like a backdoor happening. But maybe if you see like in the previous games, someone tried to backdoor. I think it's the Deathbeat L as well, but it didn't quite work out well. But here we have a 4 versus 5 Midnight taking down Broken. Reaper Moss gonna be going back. Naglubaku is gonna be second casualty, and you can see SLFO is actually like on the fence about going for this team fight because they thought that maybe Deathbeat L might be getting that backdoor like successfully. So they got a little bit nervous. They backed away from the fight, and so it was actually quite a little bit of a win for Deathbeat L. It made SLFO hesitate just a bit. But right now, as of this moment, it looks like VG Esports, they'll be waiting up and then using this time, this lull in time, to go ahead and push back the minions, take back a bit of map control. And SLFO, they could have had it, but it's just that they got distracted just a little bit. And now they're going to be waiting for another opportunity, maybe the Lord, in a minute or so, before they make any more major moves. And Well, as of this moment, okay. It's just clearing minions here and there. 46 seconds left to go before the map, before the Lord comes up. And you guys should probably watch out for Amon back there because the top lanes might be in trouble. And you can see Naglubaglu, I think they're eyeing Amon. Okay, there we have it. We have a 1 versus 1 up top. And a lot of tension. The bottom lane. Broken's taking a lot of damage. And we're talking about the tank here. Managed to get away, however, didn't quite get stunned. But here, Naglobago is definitely trying to get a Death L, and Death L is actually doing quite a great job on distracting SLFO from their pushes because you can't like sleep properly knowing that someone out there is just trying to disrupt your push. But here, the Lord Ace finally respawned, and I don't know what Death L is doing right now. But here, it looks like maybe SLFO they're eyeing the Lord as of this moment, and you can see, ooh, finally, Doctor finally catches Deathbeat L. One less thing to worry about. Global probably going to be clearing up that top lane really quickly, and still. Most of the team players are waiting towards the bottom lane. They're mostly playing that place. But Midnight finally going for legendary. So this is why I love Farsa, guys. This is why I play Farsa because it's just quite nice. But here, that's a nice set from Minotaur. And you can see, nonetheless, SLFO still surviving that. Nonetheless, not quite much of a follow-up in terms of damage. And Naglabalu, yes, they're there, but they managed to get stunned by the Carmilla. The Doctor has slain the Lord for themselves, and now VG Esports cannot afford to go ahead and get picked off. And here we have a little bit of a skirmish here on the blue zone, or the blue buff rather. It looks like the Crusades gonna be paying for that with their lives. And I'm kind of a little bit worried for the top lane, especially if you leave Deathbeat L alone, because they might push that minions up. Okay, it's not too much to worry about, and now everyone's kind of like hyper focused, hyper aware on the potential backdooring that might happen. But here the Lord, yes, they're gonna be marching up towards the mid lane, and now you can see the rest of the team is actually just trying to take back map control, and VG Esports being forced back into the base, and knowing that they have to defend against the Lord before anything else. And so with that, the more SLFO lags, like draws this game out, the more chances that VG Esports can go ahead and get their itemization in, and then potentially maybe reversing the whole game. You do not want Omega to have any more items, and you can see Omega is being very much pampered as of this moment. And you can see that the SPL is actually just trying to disrupt SLFO really quickly. SLFO could have tried to like push back the minions instead. And okay, they're doing quite well with that, and it looks like they actually broken into the base already. Okay, nice sets coming in from the Minotaur, but it's not gonna be enough. Kami is gonna be falling, and that's 3 people down on the side of VG Esports, and I think SLFO has this in the bag. They're just waiting. They're just waiting for minions. They're taunting VG Esports, and you can see the minions coming in from the top lane. Minions spawned in VG Esports base, and now they have to clear that up, and so it's not too much of a trouble. There's still 5 people left on the side of SLFO. They took down that Fleet L, and now that's almost a wipeout. It's just Broken that's left, and Broken's just holding on to that fountain, and still it's not enough. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Our champion for our Esports Flash Series MLBB is going to be Ellen. Congratulations, our wonderful players. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Deathbeat L sold all their items. Okay, but really nice itemization coming in from SLFO. They know that they don't have a carry. So other than maybe Sicilian, they don't have a carry much, and they're very heavily leaning on the side of magical damage. So it's a good thing that they ended this game as soon as possible before VG Esports can counter them with anti-magical armor. So that worked out really well for that. Look at the gold gap. That is a 12k gold lead on the side of SLFO. So it's overwhelmingly favoring the side of SLFO through and through. And you can see VG Esports kind of like a lot of micro mistakes here and there. And you can see at that speed L like they're just trying to do whatever it takes to win, even if it has to be a backdoor. But SLFO's presence of mind and game sense, it just worked out really, really well, and it just translated to this wonderful victory from SLFO. And once again, guys, happy new year to everyone. We're already in 2026 here in UTC plus 8, and I think UTC plus 7 is going to follow up really, really quickly. And you guys out there in the Maldives are going to be seeing the New Year's in about 2 hours or so. But guys, this is our MVP. It's Mod Speed from SLFO, who is playing the Carmilla in our previous game. That's 5 to 21 on the KDA. GPM of 673, KP percent of 81%, spell of Petrify, and item build, yes, mostly defensive as usual. Lenion Eyes helping out really, really well. And of course, that immortality just wrapping things up beautifully. So yeah, guys, that was it for our grand finals actually. But yes, the tournament is not actually over just yet. We still don't have a third placer, and yes, we will have a best of 5 to determine that. And yes, congratulations once again to LNN SLFO, and thank you so much to VG Esports for participating as well. They will be our what do you call that, our second placer, or rather first runner up or second placer on this Esports Flash Series, and we'll be determining who will be our medalist bronze medalist for the Esports Flash Series after that. So guys, do tune in for the best of 5. We're gonna be announcing the final schedule later on. But guys, once again, happy New Year 2026 to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Ooredoo Nation as usual. Thank you so much for the support. I love the assets. Happy New Year, guys. Hashtag esports for everyone. And so, I mean, I'm so glad to spend the new year with you guys. It's been a year. It's been a whole year of esports pack stuff in Ooredoo Nation. So thank you guys so much for supporting, for tuning in, and I hope to see a lot more tournaments on Ooredoo Nation and a lot more successes, and maybe a lot more teams participating, because it just gives the Maldives esports scene a lot of things to look forward to. So guys, thank you so much. And that was it for our grand finals. Once again, I'm saying we still have the bronze match, so do tune in, especially with their Instagram, to see any more announcements. And guys, that was it for today, for tonight's live stream. I'll leave you guys to celebrate New Year's. Thank you so much, and this has been Mobile Legends Bang Bang Esports Flash Series Grand Finals. We'll be seeing you soon in the next stream. So goodbye for now.